Hey guys, I'm Katie Room from Parapsis Press. And David is here with me. He's getting set up. So right now all I have is the Rivendell can. We are going to be opening bag number 14 of this wonderful set. We are on the second book. We have built this portion already, I think. No. Is this? Yes. Yeah, with the statues.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going over to
to this little bridge and a gazebo and some trees. I'm really looking forward to this.
Okay, you can.
Oh. Let's see. I think that works. Is that how we had it last time? I don't remember. So like this.
I think we brought this closer. And then make this one bigger.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my giant chair here.
Did you share the stream on Twitter?
I did.
Okay.
Hi, Michael Caine.
I'll just retweet
Much as I love Lego, I love Tolkien more, so caught the first stream. Thank you. All right. Lots of translucent blue pieces. The Free Narnian. A hobbit has brought the Ring of Power to Lego City.
Do you want to... He could come on and chat.
Oh, sure.
If he wants. Would you like to come on and chat? We'll send you the link. Free Narnian. Are you looking ahead there, babe, in the instruction manual?
Nope, this is...
Oh, yeah, because we had the base, right?
Oh.
Yeah, we got to get that piece out. This
is
yeah.
right here.
Yep.
But I don't see the large piece. That must be here somewhere too.
The what?
This piece. This blue
Oh,
piece.
yeah. Okay, yeah, he can come on.
Awesome.
He's up late.
Here we go.
Why don't you just give me that bag and I'll, just in case we
need some more.
Yeah. Put it right there. And let's see here. You should play the audio through your laptop so we both can hear him talk.
Okay.
Right. I'll just move the microphone over a little bit. That should work, right?
Yeah.
We had him coming through the speakers when we streamed together, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Ultimate Kahuna is here too.
The Free Narnian, I sent you a link via Twitter. I hope that works.
Ultimate Kahuna, how are things going there in Hawaii after the fire? I've been hearing all kinds of crazy things about what's happening there. I've been thinking a lot about you guys over there.
Yeah. Hey, babe, I'm not sure that I can be seen through your camera here.
Oh, I'll tilt it back. I'm just looking at a couple things. People are saying that Twitter took away the view quote tweets feature, but it's still here on PC. So I don't know if that's just an app only thing that they got rid of or what.
I would miss that greatly. I wonder what the idea behind that is. All right. Do you want to start?
No, why don't you?
Okay.
You've got everything over there. I'm doing good, Ultimate Kahuna.
Okay.
Taking a little bit of a break from streaming. I've got some other stuff going on, and tonight I was talking with my cousin about some stuff related to some property that we're inheriting, and we are kicking around the idea of moving my grandparents' house, and we did a bunch of research into it. We decided not to do it, but he actually just talked to the movers and got some interesting numbers and found out some things. We were kind of speculating about how it would work, and yeah, we decided not to do it, so it doesn't change anything, but we had a nice talk, and we were bemoaning real estate prices and talking about investing, and it was just a really nice conversation. So
I just did this page here and then this one. So essentially 3 blocks. So do you want to do the next 3?
You did
this page here.
Oh, okay,
And
sure.
then this. So do you want to
Sure,
do this there?
sure. Yeah. Crate Spain asks if I ever turn my spacecraft into STL files for printing. Yeah, so I actually got a 3D printer earlier this year, and I started experimenting with that, and that is actually kind of a long-term. I need to be holding this underneath the thing. Here we go. Let's see. Let me just make sure everything's out of the way here. Yeah, that's actually kind of a long-term goal for that project. I did run into some interesting issues with it, though. It's kind of tricky. Like there are certain sort of pathological things that I was doing in my high detail ships that didn't play very nice with like the conversion to meshes for 3D printing. So that kind of stalled me out on that. But since then, I've actually developed a different approach for doing a few things that I think is going to play a lot nicer with 3D printing. So that is something I'm planning on getting into. I sometimes talk about how part of the idea with my project is that when I work on these different parts of it, that they could be used for a lot of different things. Like a ship. When I make a ship, it's not just a ship. It goes into the game, or it could go into a trailer, or it could be an illustration, or it could be a trading card. And one of the things that I'm definitely thinking about is this could be a um, 3D printed ship. And I actually have something kind of specific that I want to do with them, which is I'd like to make toys someday. I really enjoy toys here. Obviously, we're building Lego here, but
Mhm.
I enjoy toys in general, and I want to figure out how to make my own toys of my stuff at
Yeah.
some point. So that's definitely on the backlog.
Hi, Free Narnian.
Are you unmuted?
Yeah, he's not muted.
Or is your computer?
I'm not muted. Am I?
Yeah, there you go. Hello, I think we can hear you now if you're talking.
I don't think his mic is on because he's usually when you talk.
Oh, does it show?
It goes like a. What is that you're building?
It's going to be this little detailed edge here.
What is that? It's white.
Teeth.
I built a lot of like bone structures. Thinking of all my different necromancer dragon, the bone dragon head and the dragon pit. Ultimate Kahuna says that's why it's great having kids. You can buy toys and no one can say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Free Narnian says he's having technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ultimate Kahuna. I like that aspect of having kids. But I'm just willing to admit that I buy toys just for me.
My sisters definitely appreciate having kids to buy toys for. Get the random stuff. It's like, I thought this was cool and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't really want to own it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, one of my sisters bought for the baby, like before he could really have it, a sheep with wool that unzips and comes off.
It's such a silly little thing.
All right. Whoops.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna look up a picture of the set so I can figure out what that is.
Sorry. Make sure I'm building over where you guys can see. I need two of these. Make sure this is the same size.
Okay, it's this it's like a little waterfall under the bridge.
Okay, so it's like bubbles.
Yep. That's what I
Foam.
thought it might be. I just couldn't quite
Cute.
recognize it.
That's cute.
Yeah, so that piece is going to span the underside of the bridge that goes to the little gazebo. And you're still unmuted, right, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he comes back in, we can.
Okay. Keep bonking it with my watch. So take that off. I overbuilt this. that's right. That looks right. Why doesn't it fit?
Ultimate Kahuna asks if we have any favorite stories from mythology.
Oh. How ancient are we talking when we say mythology? This isn't in the right spot.
What did you do?
No, you did it. I didn't. I didn't do it.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't put that piece on, so
This piece is supposed to go there.
put that back.
This. Oh gosh.
What are you doing?
I'm destroying it.
Was it supposed to
It's
go
supposed to go like no,
like
just
that?
there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that.
I don't really like most mythology very much. I have to say.
I like Robin Hood. I like
Yeah, like more modern stuff, but ancient like some people really get into Greek myth and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
find that stuff compelling at all.
yeah. I think I used to be like I was a Percy Jackson fan as a kid, right? But I don't enjoy any of
Pre-Narnian
that.
is back.
All right. Hello. Maybe not. I don't really enjoy Greek myth as much as
Oh. Patrick says that
sorry guys.
Josh got kicked off of Twitter. Is that
What?
what you're saying, Patrick? That he got banned?
What?
If so, that's a huge L.
Oh no. What did he say?
He was, I feel like he was tearing it up a little bit earlier today, but
Was he?
yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't repeat it here.
He's maybe got a backup, so.
I wouldn't get put reborn.
Oh no.
The Ultimate Kahuna says the silent Narnian. He may have committed some slight treason. Yikes.
And you're sure like you don't, the tab isn't muted or
it's not muted.
the tab?
Nothing. I don't mute tabs, so I don't even
Okay.
know how to do that. I can hit this again, mute, unmute.
So there's, yeah, it's unmuted now. And that, you're right, I don't see the little circle flashing, but I just want to make sure that it's not on our side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a pinch of treason.
Just a pinch. That's great.
Did he commit treason or was he accusing people of treason? Because I feel like there's been some certain elected officials that need to be called names lately.
All right. Ooh.
Oh.
Starting on the plate.
Yeah, or like calling for people to be caned or Canadian healthcare.
The Free Narnian says dark forces are trying to stop me from speaking my truth.
Oh no.
Crate Spain says I like a lot of the things Greek myth gave us, like about a third of Narnia.
By that do you mean the third of Narnia that's Greek myth?
like fawns acting like English gentleman.
He's back.
Okay, I'll. No, he's still on.
Oh. Could we? Is it like a problem with StreamYard specifically? Is there like a different way we could test his mic? I don't know what the issue is. But...
Yeah. Private chat. Okay, he said that we were muted, and then he said, there, got it. So, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure.
Are you there, Free Narnian? Can other people hear him? Oh, I see his name now. That's maybe a good sign. On the on the thing.
Came to the Cross says, I for one don't care for people who say bad things about our elites, who are better and wiser than any of us plebs.
Yeah.
Craigtbane says, yes, less that Narnian animals are killing their fathers and marrying their mothers. The Ultimate Kahuna says, I like how Tolkien was like, check out this holy original world with 2,000 years of history. And Lewis was like, Lion Jesus in Greek and Celtic myth with Santa again.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff in Lord of the Rings that's comes from myth that's just not as commonly known in our culture, like more like Scandinavian and Finnish and
yep.
Norse stuff. But
Came to the Cross says, in Lord of the Rings, my daughter and I just got to Farmer Maggot's. Such a sweet scene in the midst of the Dark Riders. I like Farmer Maggot. It really emphasizes to me the difference between how we currently view, like our culture currently views like adults in our community and how Tolkien viewed them.
Hello?
Hey!
Hey, okay, finally.
there we go.
I've thwarted the sinister forces that were trying to stifle me and stop me from telling you the truth.
Very good.
Excellent. It's great to be back on.
You're up late.
Yes, I am. It's been a very odd day for me, but I can make time for the #1 stream, which of course is the chill stream.
The Ultimate Kahuna said, is the silent Narnian in the room with you right now? Can we speak with him? With psychiatrist voice.
No, I'm coming to you proudly from a subterranean network on the Pacific coast in the sea caves. They will never find me, and they will not silence me. Even the last time I was on here, we apparently gave voice to very controversial and hot topic opinions.
It was awful.
Only the hottest takes from us.
Yeah. It just never ceases to amaze me that, like, read what you want, and it's rude to call people names for not liking what you like is such a controversial opinion. But...
Well, we are the avant-garde. We push the envelope. We violate the taboos of the age, and we are unafraid.
to be honest, after all that stuff went down, I just kind of decided I'm sort of done talking about writing. Like I don't know. I part of it was like I realized there's stuff that I need to do or I want to do this year that I haven't done, and I just need to focus on that. And part of it's just like I don't know. I feel like I've not done enough. I've not done enough. I've spent too much time talking about things. I need to spend more time doing, but
It's always valid.
yeah, we'll see.
No, that's always good. Always take what comes at you and turn it into fuel for
Yeah.
greater things.
Whenever I feel down about something, I don't like to just always respond by thinking, oh, just get over it. Like sometimes when I'm feeling bad, I like to take it as an opportunity to reevaluate like what I'm trying to do and like what my priorities are. And I think,
Oh, does this just go?
yep, I think that the outcome of that last stream gave me a really good opportunity to do that. Clarified some things for me.
There we go.
All right. Everyone else took it in stride, though.
Yeah.
That's all. It's written into the script of the game.
Mm.
It's all part of the fun. But no, I was happy to be on, and I'm happy to be back on. I
Yeah, we
think.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I think that the stream just puts out something really, good into the world for everyone, and so it's a fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it's certainly unique. I mean, the fact that people got so pissed off about something, to me says that, we are saying something unique, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's something that evidently people feel very strongly about, and that's fine. But, it's, it is something unique for sure. And I feel like we found our niche of people that kind of share our views about it too, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and we had fun at the time.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, no, our stream with you is great. There's been a few of these fights that have erupted from our streams for different things that we've done. And this was one of the most brutal, I would say, and it's definitely the one that left me kind of feeling the most bad about things. I don't think I would change anything we said. I don't think we said anything wrong. It's just frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
What part of Rivendell is that? It looks like you're building a beach.
Yeah, so this is going to be.
Here, I can find that.
Here, I'll just hold up the instruction manual. Can you go back to the streaming yard so I can see? I'll just hold this up and then you can look. So this is the base of this part here that has the gazebo and the bridge. So here you can do your thing. So this part here is the little waterfall under the bridge.
Oh, okay. Oh, so those white pieces, is that supposed to be like foam from the flowing water?
Yeah. Yep. And there's a layer of clear bricks over the thing, so it's this kind of layered water effect.
It's amazing the detail that can be achieved with Legos.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's fun seeing sometimes I've talked about this before, but one of my favorite aspects of Lego is something called nice part usage, which basically means
trying to there. This is what we're building.
It basically means using parts that are sort of intended for something else. So there isn't maybe really clear examples of this here, but like when you use say like a telescope for a railing support or something like that. That's example of nice part usage.
Hmm.
Do you see the little slope?
Which little slope?
Oh
That?
no, I was reading it wrong. This
Oh,
is
okay.
this one of these.
Ultimate Kahuna says, speaking about bravery, I'll have you all know I braved the streets of Seattle yesterday. David, you're doing plenty, and I'm anxious to read your book, so print it, he says.
Yeah, that's on the backlog too. I don't know if that's something I'll get to this year, but it's definitely something that I'm intending to do someday.
And then he says, if the Narnian gets betrayed by a fawn and silenced again, I can hop on. And he says, you guys draw an inordinate amount of contention with really innocuous opinions. It's quite strange.
Yeah.
Oh, and hi, John Douglas.
Oh, nice.
It's actually kind of funny because most of the streams that we do, even the ones that are actually like about drama, usually precede additional drama.
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, I think a couple of the ones we were kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Like the drama had started and then we did a stream about the drama.
Yeah.
And we could have done that with this last one, and I'm sure it would have been a very well viewed stream. Probably Jeffro would have also hate watched it and retweeted it, but I just I couldn't bear it. Didn't really want to do that. I think that was too. It was the week because I was like sick for 3 weeks, and then
Yep. So I would,
and I want to say that stream we did during the week when we were both feeling well.
Yep.
I'm
And
like,
then by Wednesday or Thursday, I was really sick.
yeah.
So Tuesday I was starting to get sick when all this drama started
Yeah.
dropping.
Yeah.
And then
so that was part of the reason why we didn't stream for a while after that.
yeah. Yeah, I was that sick.
You weren't.
For 3 weeks.
Katie wasn't hiding. I'm still kind of hiding. But I'm also trying to build some momentum on my project, which I have been pretty successful with doing. But I said for sure I would come. I'm kind of done talking about writing for a bit, but I would do some chill streams and stuff.
No,
and
that's
certainly,
good.
we can talk about writing on
yeah.
this stream. I don't know.
Well,
I basically, I was so mad after some of the stuff that happened. I'm like, I'm done with Twitter. And I actually did not go on Twitter for like 3 days, which is like, I've not done that since I've started being on Twitter. But part of what like when I came back on, I just really aggressively like muted a bunch of stuff. And part of what I did is I muted a lot of writing stuff. So I'm just not seeing a lot of writing talk and pulp brev talk. Like I muted pulp brev. I'm like, I'm done with that hashtag.
Yeah.
I don't I'm not a part of it, and I don't really want to see whatever it is they're coming up with. So
well, my stream has always been like, the goal has always been to do more like reader focused stuff and less writing commentary. So it's a good opportunity to sort of adjust course, make sure that that's still the goal and still.
And we're gonna have some of our own good stuff to talk about here too,
Yeah.
like with the Christmas, the next Christmas anthology coming up and stuff. So, we'll have
Yeah.
stuff to promote.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Were you on the book club stream, David? I didn't catch that one.
No, I haven't been on those.
Okay.
I don't read actually, so I'm illiterate, so
Yes, me too. But
um yeah, no, that's kind of been I started that, and David is welcome to participate if you would like. But like we said, he's been focusing on his stuff.
yeah.
And that's a worthy goal. So I'm not pressuring him.
I always kind of intended to be involved with those somehow, but
Yeah.
I have too much other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
well, that would be a taller commitment to not only read but also have to come up with enlightened commentary upon the books in question.
Yeah.
It takes an investment of time beyond just reading.
Yeah, well, because it's even more than a review, right? Because if you want
Right.
to have an in-depth roundtable discussion.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you want to like pay additional attention just in case people bring up stuff that you weren't expecting, right? You want to make sure that you aren't doing a casual read.
Hey, here's a question actually that I wanted to. I've been thinking about asking you guys this on Twitter, but I'd be interested to know this. That since you're both book people, and I want to know. I have to be reassured that I'm not the only person that's like this. But I can't stand markings like or highlighting or underlinings within the text, and I'm very peevish about pre-faded fades on the cover and such. I get anxious when I notice my book's starting to age. I hope I'm not the only person that has this.
We've got boxes up in the windows.
Yeah. So part of our library setup here is that we blocked off windows so we can have stuff out without it fading.
Okay.
Yeah, neither of us really. You mark in your Bible,
Mm-hmm.
so that's extra blasphemous. But you don't really mark in books too much other than that.
No.
Right? Like you mark did you mark in textbooks, like stuff that you were reading for school?
Yeah, when I was not in textbooks but in literature that I was reading for school, I wouldn't underline stuff while I was reading. I would underline stuff or like draw a line in the margin along the side of a passage that I was going to quote in my literary analysis.
But those
papers.
weren't books that you liked, right? They were books that you were reading more for school, so it was like
right. It
wasn't like things that you were going to save.
Yeah, like I have my Lord of the Rings and Hobbit copy that are from my class that I marked up and tossed in my backpack and stuff. And though that's not my nice copy. I think I talked about this just the other day. It's I wouldn't mark things in a nice book.
Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
So this piece that I just built is like the foam on the bottom of a waterfall, and it attaches to these studs, so it kind of overlaps this white plate, so you get this really super layered effect. All kinds of different levels of the
rolling
bubbles there, and it like the water goes underneath the
very
bubbles.
nice.
It's really cool.
Very nice. Let's see. Had some
But yeah, we don't mark.
No.
typically mark in books.
Yeah, well, not only do I don't like it just from the look of it, but also like I highlighted, or I tried to highlight in school, and I found that it was distracting for me
Mhm.
personally. Like I didn't retain a lot when I was highlighting. Actually, I something in my brain like thought that, well, I'll just be looking back at this later, and I found that for me the best way to was just to simply just read the text and be absorbed
Mhm.
into it. And I would maybe write notes separately in a
Yep.
separate notebook, but
That's what I did.
yeah, and like make a like an asterisk with the page number, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I did a lot of
mark
that too. Yeah.
yeah, marking the text itself just never really clicked with me, either
I
for school or just like regular reading. I don't understand people who like mark up like even nonfiction books that they're just reading for their own enrichment. Like, I don't know. I feel like like an auxiliary or an additional uh sub activity like that
You're
just
not on
um
camera.
I'm sorry. I keep pulling it over. Yeah,
that it,
I find, particularly underlining, makes me just want to skip that whole section. It's crowded looking. It's like you'll
yeah.
underline stuff that's important, and then I read through it, and I just want to. My eye just wants to like pass right over it. Okay, does that go like that then? Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Look at that.
Yeah, I used to write things over. Sometimes I would just copy whole sections just over, and I always found that writing by hand would help me remember stuff a lot better than typing. But yeah, I don't highlight stuff. I sometimes will highlight or mark up research like papers that I print off for my job, or I will highlight them like in a PDF annotator tool, but that's really more for just the purpose of looking, like actually looking back later, not so much because I think that's the best way to study it. And I wouldn't do that in a book. I like kind of keeping my books in what I would consider to be good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A big pet peeve of mine is when people don't turn the pages from the outside. So like when you open a book, you should always I think this is where that came from.
Yeah.
You should
I have
always
that one over too.
you should always like this instruction manual, you should turn it from the outside corner versus like some people will just like open up a book and then they'll grab it and start going like this. Like that's
Oh,
a surefire way you're gonna put a
that's
bunch of like,
barbarism.
yeah, see, like this is never going away. This is permanently
Wrinkled.
yep. Whereas if you turn from the corner, you can turn the pages without actually putting little marks in them.
I'm sure I damaged a few textbooks in my day doing it the barbaric way, not thinking.
Our daughter, when she's reading books, every single page, she like
she does pretty good.
She does.
We worked with her to try to help her to not do that too much, but she's not quite at the point where I'm just gonna like let her have one of my books that I care about to read. Oh, here. Sorry, I should do these too.
Yeah.
Some little mushrooms here.
Mushrooms and a frog.
I think these are glow in the dark pieces.
The Ultimate Kahuna says it depends. Some I protect and some I just read.
I kind of like buying books that are already somewhat worn because then I don't feel like I have to keep them in pristine shape. I mean, I'm still generally careful with my stuff, but it's nice to not feel like, you're not going to be the one to take it from being pristine to
yeah,
to used.
Yeah, that's an advantage of buying used. Because I agree with Kahuna there. Some books, because I like to maybe take like when I go on walks or hiking, I like to take a small paperback with me, and so that there's no way that's going to be pristine, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some books are meant to be uh weathered, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh,
Mm.
mushrooms, and a
Mushroom.
little frog behind the waterfall.
Crate Spain said it's wild seeing highlights in Kindle books. I I find that distracting. It's like,
All right, what happened here? Because it's
oh, what did we miss?
we missed the step where we put all of this stuff here at the top of the waterfall.
Oh.
Because I think that's where all of this stuff goes.
Okay.
Yep. This whole page, it looks like maybe we skipped over.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So how does that work with the Kindle books? They share the highlights from across different people, right? Like they'll show
Yeah.
sections that a lot of people have highlighted.
Like you can turn it off, but it's and I did because it's distracting. Mostly because people highlight things that they think are profound, and it's like I don't want to think things are profound. I want to just read.
Yes, that's my attitude exactly.
Crate Spain mentioned that used RPG books are usually in rough shape. So I'm not a tabletop gamer at all, really, but I ran into this a couple months ago. I bought a couple of BattleTech books that I've always wanted, a couple of the technical references, and it was a real challenge finding those in decent shape at all, like where they just weren't just really beat up. I kind of compromised and didn't get the cheapest ones and didn't get the most expensive ones and got some that are in like decent shape. But
I have a couple like Lord of the Rings related RPG books that I've gotten secondhand. And those tend to be in an okay shape just because they're more like things people collect and less that they play, I think.
where is that one RPG book? Is it here?
Yeah. Let's see.
If it's in that stack, don't pull it out.
It's close to the top.
I have I think I have a core book somewhere. Ooh, that is a handsome volume.
Yeah, that's cool. This one, meh. I guess that was an easy $2. Right? Is that where you got it?
Yep.
Maybe not as attractive, but
with that sticker on the back, I wonder if my mom grabbed that for me.
yeah, probably.
This one, though.
This one is cool, though. Look at that.
Yeah, the Angus McBride art is top tier.
Oh, babe.
There it is.
Pondering.
Yeah, I should have known that
He's right on the back there.
this book is probably worth a lot of money now. Actually, so some of these things, Oh yeah, it's on the back too.
Yep. I have a lot of stuff that's worth quite a bit from that book sale that my mom went to in that guy's basement.
Yeah, that was a good haul. Is this where that came from?
I think so.
Yeah, he would have had.
There's no other sticker on it. Yeah. So apparently, this older gentleman in my parents' neighborhood collected all kinds of stuff. There was a lot of books. And my mom went there right away. One of the first days that the estate sale went, when he passed away. And
This is really cool. He's got the proper like Numenorian helmet
nice.
on.
Love that piece.
So she was able to grab just a whole bunch, and she held some of it back. Like, she didn't give it all to me, and then presented it to me on my birthday. And one of the things that she gave me was the Monsters and the Critics, and I just about flipped, because that is really expensive to buy. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was other stuff like that.
That's really
in there.
cool.
I just know about the Monsters and the Critics, right? Yeah, she really set me up well in my
Yeah,
lifetime.
this is really, really cool. I haven't actually sat and paged through this book, but it's awesome. Check out the
Okay, so I think these are, well, what's this one?
fight with the trolls and orcs in Moria. That's awesome. And see, this is the proper size of Gandalf's hat, because his eyebrows actually stick out past the brim of the hat.
I've got one of these, babe, that usually these aren't extra. I'm not sure where it goes.
Somewhere in here, maybe. I'll take a look. I can usually spot that sort of thing. You know what? I think it is actually right there.
Oh, yep, you're right. Okay. Ooh, that was easy.
Okay. Should we
Okay.
do one more bag?
Sure.
Then call it good, as long as we have guess.
Fun and interesting person.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the first things that I ever bought with my own money was a core book for Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, nice.
And I have it, and I treasure it, and the whenever there's like I've said this before on Twitter, that like my general 40k lore knowledge is very out of date,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the book that I refer to still. That's what's
Yeah.
canon to me, and I don't care what, right? Because that was such a special thing for me.
Yeah, I never got into 40k. I had friends who played it, and other like Warhammer type games. There was a Lord of the Rings Games Workshop game that came out like around, I don't know, 2003, 2004 that some of my friends played. But I've always kind of meant to just buy one of those core books, just to have, just as kind of an artifact of the lore, and just to see, being somebody who likes world building, I like just seeing how you'd put together a document like that with lore snippets and like rules and stuff. I probably never play the game, but it's just kind of a fun thing to have. That's kind of how I feel about BattleTech. I don't know if I really like the game, but I have a bunch of BattleTech sets just because I really like the whole package. I like the lore. I like the books. I like how they do everything. So.
Yeah.
Those Warhammer books, I eventually got one for fantasy. They do it really well, because they have they're divided neatly into rules, lore, and then they have glamour photos of all the different types of miniatures that
Nice.
are available. So they become kind of, the books themselves are almost like their own nice little collection to have.
I've got an issue of the new White Dwarf magazine that they started putting out in like 2016. I think it's actually might be the first of that new run, and that's the same way. It's I mean, it's like this big, thick magazine. It really makes you want to spend money on Warhammer stuff. But it's just a cool
Yeah, no,
thing.
I was never really able to get that much into the tabletop myself, but I did like the books and stuff. And
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get into the Warhammer novels?
yes, that's what I meant. The book. I devoured fanatically the Gotrek and Felix novels.
Okay.
That was my I remember, right, because I was totally in that YA uh phase, and I stopped reading the Harry Potter series because I discovered Gotrek and Felix, and that set me down an entirely new path. And those books are fantastic. They put out new reprints of them, so that they're all available again, which is great because they're really fun reads. Uh, very pulpy, fantasy, action oriented, and the premise is perfect for just an ongoing serial of adventures.
And
So
and those are the ones like the not 40K, but the fantasy setting.
yes, that's Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, yeah. Is that called Age of Sigmar? Is that correct?
It's called Age of Sigmar now. They around I want to say 2015 or so, they
Yeah.
discontinued Warhammer Fantasy. They nuked the setting, and then they recreated it into Age of Sigmar, which
Yeah.
I know next to nothing about because I was so outraged that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That they
I think that White Dwarf magazine issue that I have is like right around the time that they did that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember seeing like just the look of it, and like everything was different, and I'm like, this it just didn't appeal to me at all. I feel like it's really weird. They're desperately and I say this a lot of just what I see out of recent 40K stuff too, is that they seem to really want to become Warcraft and Starcraft, which is weird to me because we already have Warcraft and Starcraft,
Yeah.
and I'm they're they're very they were compared to each other all the time, but 40K was and Warhammer Fantasy were very unique, and I'd say even I know a lot of GW stuff is very contrived, and that they uh
Derivative.
borrowed
Yeah.
yeah, freely from many other people, but they were able to kind of they would, especially with some of the more talented authors of the books, they were able to kind of hit their stride and be unique in their own way. And I, so the idea just but they seem to want to be derivative of just a different set of aesthetics now, and a tone. um
Yeah, what I know of that stuff is mainly 40K, and it seems like really really baroque to me. So
mhm.
it seems like StarCraft and Warcraft are nice, but they are not. They're pretty simple compared to, I think, what my understanding of Warhammer is.
Yeah, well, to me, when I discovered StarCraft after 40K, and that's the simpleness of StarCraft is actually what appealed to me,
Hmm.
because sometimes, kind of like also with the grim dark tone, I don't think Fianna Wolf is in the chat because he would have a lot to say about this, but I do feel sometimes that the 40K, because Warhammer Fantasy was not as grim dark as
Hmm.
40K was, and yeah, but sometimes I felt that actually kind of worked against the setting,
Mm-hmm.
because you did get into situations where you really didn't feel like that there was anyone worth rooting for.
Yeah.
And I feel like that worked against itself. But Warhammer Fantasy had lots of opportunities to kind of transcend that, and I really liked how they played into like a historical fiction approach, and particularly like the main setting, the Empire in fantasy is more of like a Renaissance, later Middle Ages type society rather than just high medieval society that you would typically see. And I thought that gave it a very distinct and interesting flavor.
I just wanted to point out that piece that David did has a snot piece with like a foam
Mm-hmm.
on the inside here.
Yeah, it's like foam splashing up against a rock.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and you can see there's like that slope, that inverted slope. It's like a kind of hidden, well, like there, but it's just,
Oh, yeah.
it's very 3D.
It feels
whole area.
very like detailed 3D,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's how the foam would splash up against a rock.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but like this kind of thing where you're just building this big thing with a lot of detail, this is just not something you're going to get in a small Lego set. This is
Mhm.
something that you have to you have to buy one of these giant Lego sets to get,
Yeah.
because the smaller ones are really economical with their pieces, and there just isn't the piece count in something like that to build anything like this.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, just building this giant thing. I mean, this just feels like really feels like you're building something.
Well,
So-
actually, I'm just kind of in awe just to think that someone sat there and designed, like, came up with a plan for all that, right? And the sculpt of each brick for it all to come together. That's just Lego's like mythic reputation is well earned.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it certainly is. Even a lot of sets that, you know, like maybe I wouldn't buy. There's still a lot to appreciate about, and that design, you know, they're not just designing the end result, but they're designing the process of building it. You know, they might make a design and then go back and revise it so that they're, you know, combining slightly different piece types together and kind of refitting things. And, you know, they make certain pieces these bright colors so they stand out. And, you know, oftentimes you have this uniquely colored stuff inside things that get hidden away, and that's just all part of the fun of it. There's a couple more really big sets that, or not really big sets, but bigger sets that have come out that I would like to get. They made another pirate set. The it's like the harbor.
Oh yeah,
like
Harvard. Yeah.
fort. That looks really, really good, and is also reasonably priced for what it is. And they recently came out with a Viking Village, which is like $130 set, and it looks like a really tremendous deal for that price. So both of those would be fun to do if we ever finish this one.
Ever.
I know that they make Lego Mario themed sets. I wonder how long it will be before there'll be other Nintendo properties. If soon we will have a Lego Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I know people have been wishing for that for a long time. It would be cool to see. I don't know too much about Zelda. It's kind of a blind spot for me. So it's not something that I'm really longing for, but I know I've kind of seen people wishing for that, and I feel for them, because it would be a really good fit, I think, for Lego.
No, yeah, it would be. There's a lot that. I feel like the aesthetics of Zelda lends itself better to Lego than Mario in some ways, because a lot of Mario stuff is very round
Yep.
and curved, and Zelda is more uh I don't know, realistic, for lack of a better, right? It's not quite. It's cartoony, but it's not cartoony in the same way.
Yep.
And so you can, I feel in a brickified world like that, the look can translate better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be cool as if they did, you know, because like they do Lego Minecraft, where they have the blocks be, you know, basically Minecraft blocks. You know, they take a 2x2, and then they put a plate on top of it, so it's roughly a cube, and then they like build everything out of cubes. Be cool is to see something like an NES Legend of Zelda Lego set, where they sort of built a couple of maps with bricks kind of representing the different tiles,
That would be
because there's
cool.
some really iconic, you know, like that iconic first area of Zelda with the kind of the tan background, and like the trees or green rocks or whatever they are supposed to be
Mhm.
around the outside. That could be really cool.
Mhm.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yep. I know
Oh,
Lego's doing Sonic stuff now.
oh, really?
Yeah. The Mario and Sonic stuff is it's really kid oriented though. Like the Mario stuff is like a goofy little game that you play, and the Sonic stuff is all like you can actually launch him down the track.
Mhm.
I don't know if he has wheels or what,
I
but
don't
something.
I didn't look at it that closely.
Yeah. Kind of not my thing. What were you gonna say? Free Narnia?
I was just gonna say I'll wait patiently for them to get around to making Lego Metroid, which will
Mm.
come.
Yeah. I think you might be waiting a while for that.
The most abused and neglected member of the Nintendo family. I actually no, actually that's not true. It's F-Zero. We're the second most abused and neglected member in the Nintendo family. F-Zero is the locked away and deep within the vaults of Casa Doom.
I saw there's some company now that's making a line of Nintendo like 4-inch action figures. And they have a Samus Aran Metroid one. Um that was kind of cool. You don't see a lot of you don't see a lot of like Nintendo toys. You know, they had those what are they called, amiibo things?
Hmm.
People really
Yeah,
loved those, but it's
Yeah.
kind of neat now to start seeing like some action figures and things like that.
You guys talking about old games makes me want to pick up my cross stitch efforts again. Try and
Yeah. Katie made me a couple of really nice Chrono Trigger like cross stitch pieces.
so cross stitch is like embroidery, except everything is squares. You make X's that they end up being squarish, right?
So it's
Okay.
it naturally goes with pixel art.
Yeah. I always thought that would be something that would be easy to monetize for as long as they didn't hit you with copyright.
Oh yeah. If I had no qualms about that kind of stuff, you can make so much money. People are like on eBay, you just go up like people are friggin' selling. They just rip the models out of PlayStation games and then 3D print them and sell them for ridiculously stupid prices.
Well, like action figures or miniatures or
Yeah, not really action figures, but just like 3D printed little statues. Like you can go on Etsy and buy like the whole set of Final Fantasy VII characters, 3D printed and like really crudely painted for ridiculously expensive, and people just love them. It's so annoying. It just makes me mad.
I'm surprised that they can get away with that.
Yeah. To kind of go back to Cratesbane's question about me 3D printing my ships, I spent a lot of time around the time that I got the 3D printer, like trying to come up with ideas of things that I could sell that would be like how could you make money selling like my own ship designs, right? And it's all just people's 3D printing Star Wars crap or you know, it's or you know, Warhammer stuff. And it just goes on and they get away with it.
Crate Spoon says, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't like licensed Lego. I miss the old unique lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, they had a great line go out. It was I forget what it was called. I think it was called Mars Mission or something. They had some really cool stuff with that. I loved the green Martians and the crazy weird alien machinery that they had. That
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Was that the ones with the little they're kind of like sort of curved heads? Like their
Uh
faces were kind of curved and then they had little eyes printed on.
Oh no, that was a different one. But that
Okay.
yeah, I mean those were Martians. I like those too. Yeah, they were blue. No, these ones they were kind of like these translucent green guys.
Okay.
And so like they were squaring off against like the human colonists. Uh um it was yeah, they were green. They had like a lot of black and green machinery, and then like
Mhm.
the human side was very um typical astronaut looking,
Yeah.
2001 space looking stuff. But it was just neat. There was also a fantasy one, I think, actually around the same time. I remember having like some sort of uh catapult wagon that was pulled by like this troll that was hooked up to chains, and it had like a
Oh,
little orc
cool.
guy that came with it. That was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they had some really pretty good properties.
Well, I've had a lot of luck with some of the newer stuff, like the Ninjago.
Yeah, Ninjago's kind of gotten not so good the last few years, but
Yeah.
for a while it was really, really good.
And then they did that Dream World. What was it?
Hidden Side.
Hidden
That was
Side.
cool theme.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Ghostbusters, kind of Ghost Hunters kind of thing.
Yeah, and you could use your phone to. There were like trigger tiles that were like odd colors that would then get your phone to do specific things to like make the ghost show up, right?
Oh.
And then there's one that they don't sell. I mean, you can buy it online, I'm pretty sure. That Monkey King set.
Oh yeah, that monkey kid.
Yeah, Monkey Kid.
Monkey
that's
Kid theme is insane. It's like a theme that they dreamt up for selling to rich Chinese kids, basically. Because all the sets they're really cool, but they're priced like licensed sets. So Lego typically you can observe the cost of licensing on the price of the set, and their own themes sets are like somewhat more bang for your buck. This Monkey Kid set is like their own theme, but it's expensive. But the sets are crazy. And I think you have to get them online. I don't think they really sell them in stores.
Still wrong. Yeah, I haven't seen them in stores at all. But first saw them in the magazine, the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Were you guys ever into Bionicle at all?
Yes. So you build the next page and get my Bionicle stuff. Were you into Bionicle Free Narnian?
No, I wasn't really.
Okay. Yeah, I Bionicle kind of came out towards the tail end of when I was interested in Lego, but I managed to get some cool Bionicle stuff, so I'll bring that over.
I remember they even made like I think that was the first time I had ever seen them that they had come up with a Lego like an animated movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never saw them, but I just saw that they were there, and I just remember thinking how odd it would is to have a animated Lego thing. Like, why not? I don't know. I never really understood what Bionicle was supposed to be. Is it like it's like Transformers where they're living robots of some sort?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So
ask David.
it was a really convoluted thing, but really cool. So maybe I'll try to.
There's the stairs that we just built. Nice little-
So I never collected all of them, but this is Onua, one of the original Bionicle characters. And then they fought different enemies, and then their big scary opponent was the Borak. So this is the black Borak. And then they kind of became reborn in a new form that didn't look nearly as cool. And I kind of lost interest. So that's the Toa Nuva version of Onua. But yeah, I mean, it was a really Bionicle is really cool. I don't know if Free Narnian, if you've watched like the YouTube videos, but the whole thing was just kind of like a cool.
Can we keep
Yeah,
going?
it was like a cool branding, world building, multimedia project exercise. So actually, I have about the first 12 issues of the comic, which
Oh wow! I
yeah,
didn't know there's a comic.
yes. So the cool thing about this is this came with the Lego Club magazine. So these are all my issues that I had from when I was a kid. So
Interesting.
here's the very first one. I just took it out, so we can look at it. So this is, it's like you get, and this is June 2001. So this is, a couple years after, Phantom Menace came out in 1999. So this is a couple of years after Lego Star Wars has become a thing.
Right.
Lego was deep in licensing stuff at that point, but now they're kind of going back to their own thing. And this is just a little comic. I think it's only about. It's not like 20 pages or anything. It's probably more like 12. But it's a DC comic. It's pretty well illustrated. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's some good art.
Yeah. And it tells the story, and they had a pretty big plan for where the story was going from the beginning. They did all this crazy promo, like they had like Andy McDonald endorse stuff, Yeah, it's just designed to sell, right? Viral marketing.
Is this comment about Bionicle? Crazy Bean says, I think he's saying I was into it.
It's not about Bionicle. It's just about how they changed the color of gray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Castle Gray.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a light and dark tone of gray, and then they changed it to be more bluish.
I see. Oops,
but they had all this stuff, and then they had it was all very online. So they had this website where you could learn about the lore and a PC game coming out and a trading card game and all kinds of crazy stuff, and all that stuff just multiplied as time went on.
Oh, so they were really trying to BattleTech it, right? They have like a one of everything type.
Yeah. So there were a few lines of like these sort of like weird Technic creature type things that came before Bionicle. But Bionicle was like when they decided, okay, we're going to do this right. We're going to make a story. These are actual characters, not just,
Random
not
designs.
just the 5 colors, right? They actually have characters. And it was really cool. Like they each came in a can.
There's a nice
yes.
little
yeah.
Floral. What am I trying to say?
Floral arrangement.
That's not what
Flora.
Flora. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's getting late.
So each of the Bionicle characters came in a can, and it had it came with a little CD, like a mini CD that you could put in the computer that you could like have little movies and lore and stuff. And the mask that came has a little code inside.
Should I keep going?
Yeah.
What?
And you had to, yeah. So I don't know if you can see it, but you had to put the code in to access like these little cinematic movies for each character that were really well done on
That's
this
incredible.
on the CD. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it now. That's how fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's great.
It's really awesome. I don't
I
know.
I
Let me
remember the
actually.
cans. I remember
I'll
seeing the cans,
I'll
but
go grab my cans because the cans are worth looking at just for how intentionally done they are. And,
so,
Kate Stanning says Thawbot's Bionicle precursor had a flash game that was, well, it was a thing. It seems like Lego, like learned and moved in a smart direction with Bionicle.
you see,
all
I'd
right.
like to see more of stuff like this. I think a multimedia type approach to things is the way to go. I think this sort of thing really it typifies. I think like what's talked about on the stream a lot and stuff is like just pure fun and escapism, and you know, and you have to respect all of the work and creativity and intention that goes behind something like this. You know,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
and, and it
the
makes people happy because look, people
yeah.
still talk about Bionicle today. You know,
Well,
people have
and there's the cynical level of it's like, oh, it's just marketing to sell more toys or whatever, but it's fun, right? Like this was like my first intro to comics practically, right? And I still have these just because they're cool, you know.
Mhm.
Um, it's fun. It's make fun stuff other than just a book or a movie or something, you know, make fun stuff. So Crate Spain was talking about Throwbots, so this is my Throwbot. So this is like the first kind of Technic collectible robot thing. They came in a case, so this is kind of the precursor to the Bionicle can. And I think he's sort of in pieces, so I won't take him out. But it's kind of a similar sort of robot type creature with the ball joints and stuff. And they had collectible discs, so that was kind of the collectible element to the Throwbots. If we take a look at the Bionicle cans, so the original Bionicle can, you know, they were all colored, and there's just tons of stuff going on. So I don't have the disc in the can. I have it somewhere else, but you know, you have the manual, right? Which is actually no, this isn't the manual. It's a little poster. So how awesome is that, right?
Well, this is like just a thing that you could buy at a toy store, and
Yeah,
this
and
is
you know what?
something.
They cost like $5. This is
Yeah,
how far we've fallen.
I know. As I said, this
So
is like something that would be like a collector's edition of something
oh yeah,
by today's standards.
so there's the little poster. There was the manual and this little CD in here, you know, so mini CD-ROM, and then check this out. So the outside kind of rotates, and there's like this animation here. So
It's like a sleeve.
so it's a sleeve. So it's showing, you know, you can see him coming out of the case here. You can see the you know, the capsule, because in the mythology they come out of these capsules, right? So you can see it opening up and all the pieces, you know, self-assembling into him, and it shows his action, and then across the top it shows the different elemental Toa, and then there's like secret web codes that you can put in the website here, because you couldn't if I remember right, you couldn't actually turn this until you opened it up.
That's amazing.
Or maybe you could, I'm not sure. But just some other interesting things. So the mask you can actually stick on top of the can like that, I think. Maybe not. Maybe this one doesn't fit. But it's got the little Toa face on top. And these are actually little Technic
Sorry.
holes, so you could collect the masks, and they would like you could put them on little stands kind of around the top. But it was just a really cool thing to get, and it's, imagine picking up the can in the store. It's heavy, and you can hear the Technic parts shaking around in it. And it, interestingly here too, so this still says Lego Technic. So they eventually moved away from the Technic branding on Bionicle, but there it is, right? Lego Technic.
That's so great. Oh, I totally get it now. I get
So-
why people have such a strong affinity, because what a great thing.
So if you think that's cool, I'm going to show you probably my favorite can. So this one doesn't have the cool rotating sleeve, but this is the Borak thing, and they're kind of like sort of insectoid kind of like monsters, right? So this one screws open, manual kind of wraps around the outside. I think there's also a little poster, but this is the coolest thing ever. So I'm gonna just take this manual out so it'll fit nice. I think this is a little. Oh yeah, this is a little. Oh yeah, little. Oh, this actually is a mini comic. That's sick. I totally forgot about this. Yeah, so there's like a little mini comic in there. But check this out. So the way this guy folds up, he kind of folds up into like a ball like this.
That's great.
And then there's this piece which snaps on like this. You have to kind of fiddle with it a little bit to get it to fit.
But it does.
But it does.
Cool.
So you unscrew the lid and pull it out, and it's hanging there like an insect, kind of in a cocoon.
That's great. So I take it. So that you said before, like with the other one too, that it's incorporated into the lore of its own setting. That this is how actually they are in their own world.
Here,
So the packaging itself is part of the that's.
Check this out here. Let's see if I can find it.
See, that's great because when you're a kid too, I always you would play with the boxes that stuff came in, like make it into, a building or something. But they put they intentionally designed their stuff around that. That's amazing.
See, there's these rows and rows of these containers like a hive underground. So it's these same shaped containers that are like stacked up.
That's great.
Right?
That's so great.
I know, isn't that awesome? And the lore of these things is kind of cool too. So they're like these insect kind of characters, and each one holds this. This is just, it's so cool. Each one holds this parasitic mask. So the action features, their head kind of goes like this. But the idea is like, see, inside the headpiece, there is this, and it's green. It's like this rubbery material. This like parasite mask that if you could knock the mask off of a Toa and then stick this parasite mask on, then he's kind of under the control of the hive.
That's great.
I know, isn't that awesome?
That's great. Just like the energy behind the creativity, you know, it makes
Yeah.
you want to shoot. I want a Bionicle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you can go to eBay today and buy one.
Babe, I'm missing a piece. I'm sure I've put it somewhere I shouldn't have.
All right, I'll help you.
Thank you.
I'll just get this stuff back together.
Take your time.
Yeah, every now and then I get a hankering to go and like buy the rest of the original Bionicles. But I always kind of say, nope, you've got yours from when you were a kid. That's good.
Crate Spain says, great to see these old kits again, David. I'm gonna go crash, have my wisdom teeth out today.
Oh no.
Oh, that's brutal. Take care, crates. That's exhausting.
What did I do with this piece? Is that one? There's that one, that one. That one. That one. That one should be, yeah. What did I do? What did I do? Must have used one where I wasn't supposed to use one.
Okay, what piece are you looking for?
This one by one green thing.
Did you use one instead of one of another color? That's something that can happen.
And has happened in the past at my hand. I don't think there have been any others though. Except gray. Nope, not even gray. Unless it's here somewhere. I don't see it.
And it's a green 1x1.
Yeah.
Let me just flip back. Could it have been used? I see a bunch of stuff in here.
Yep, I checked. They all look right.
Let's see here.
Oh man.
Yep, and there's one in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those.
Which one? Isn't it? Because this one I have.
Oh, okay, so you have that one.
Yeah.
Because that would have been an easy one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
Let's see here, and then there's one there. One there.
I've screwed it up.
Now you've done it. Yeah, where else would have one fit?
Because it's one that's in a spot where it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, another thing about Lego's quality control is like we've never had a set that has had a missing piece.
Mm.
So when you get to this point where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing a piece, You're probably not missing a piece. I mean, there's a first time for everything, but could it have fallen on the floor?
What about this spot? Like here. This seems like a good place for an angle piece.
Yep, that's what it is. That's supposed to be angle piece.
All right. Well, that's not too hard.
All right, we found it.
Rivendell saved. I still can't get over those water effects. It's just so great.
Yeah, it really does look like flowing water.
Okay, where was this? This was like this.
Now you've done it.
I've not done it.
Did you guys think that the Peter Jacksonian representation of Rivendell was faithful, or did you like it? I know because in a lot of other visual art, the House of Elrond is portrayed almost sometimes as kind of like just like this big mansion, whereas like in Rivendell in the Jackson movie, it's more almost like a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not homely.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's fine. It's certainly a take. It goes along with his making the elves just simply more elegant as opposed to quirky.
I think it is more or less one house. It's very big in the way you see it in the movie. You're kind of looking across different wings of it, different
that's
pieces.
true. Okay, how about this? Okay, got that.
It's sort of built over that waterfall.
That's true. There's just it's just I guess the impression that's created because there's a lot of open space.
Yeah.
That it feels like that there's like multiple structures. But yeah, now that I think of it, you're right. It does kind of feel like one I don't know, complex.
Yeah. I'm looking at pictures on Google Images here, and it's like it is very spread out, but it is kind of still. You could say it's one building.
Yeah, I think the impression I always had was that like Rivendell was like a small city, and then I
Yeah.
read the books, and then I was like, oh wait, it's like it's just a mansion of sorts, right? Or like a large estate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
Now you've done it.
I really have done it. I'm not sure what it was I did though. You guys.
This is the content that everybody's here for. Watching you sweat.
My frustration. Okay. Approximately.
Great Spain was talking about Castle Gray versus Blay. So Onua here has both the gray colors, and this set has both the gray colors. So you can see, maybe harder to see on camera, but the old gray is a lot more brown.
I kind of see that.
Whereas the new dark gray is more blue, and the light gray is harder to see, but it's kind of the same thing. The old gray looks a little bit more yellowish, and the new gray looks a little bit more bluish.
Okay. That looks better.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out where did this extra piece go? That's the piece I was missing. Way to go, Caitlin. There. Would you like to
Yes, I'll
Take a turn?
I'll do a page.
you want to finish this up?
Ah,
Ah!
sure. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. These steps are all constructed on the side. And there's this big hollow area here, which I'm curious to see if that's going to be used for anything in particular, or if it's just going to be space that gets closed off. Now I've done it. Is that
Now,
yeah.
do you have like a display case that you're gonna keep this in when you're finished, or is it just gonna be on a table somewhere, or like how
I
how
think it
involved is the presentation gonna be?
probably will just set
Yeah.
behind us
Yeah.
or somewhere nearby.
I was thinking I would use this space over here for a large Lego set. So this one, and I also have.
Legos, they get dusty, but if you just use like a static duster, like one of those little dusters that if you like roll your hands on the handle, it kind of like statically charges the bristles. They dust really nice. So
I had never seen one before we got married, so
yeah,
if it doesn't sound familiar, that's all right. Maybe here. Is this where?
no, I've done it.
Nope, there's nothing here.
I feel like it
Oh,
came off somewhere in this area.
nope, that's a different.
Here, I want to bring that up to the table so we're not crunching it.
Oh, sorry. I do not see anything that looks like that. It's not up here yet.
So this is the step that I was on. Here,
Oh.
let's just go back a little ways.
Oh, is it here on the end? No, not on top of the gray bit in front of it.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. And we have different shelves here in the library where we have different stuff on display. So it would probably fit in. It would probably. We'll just go on one of those. Like you have a bunch of Lego stuff right over here.
Yep. The other part of the Rivendell is up here right now.
So it could set up there.
Yep.
That would actually be a pretty nice place for it.
Yep.
That's one thing about these big sets is they're really fun, but you have to think about where you would put them. This one is definitely going to be one of the bigger ones that we have in terms of how much space it takes up.
Yeah, because that Pirate Bay fit together nicely.
Yeah, it doesn't take up a lot of area.
Yeah, space management for stuff like that can get tricky. I struggle. I'm trying to get back into miniature building.
Oh, fun.
Slowly, and yeah, I just keep my stuff in a shoebox.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very professional, in the high end.
Useful boxes, those.
Yes, they can easily fit in places you need them to when you want for space.
I've been kind of getting into toy collecting a little bit more over the past couple of years, and I need to figure out at this point, like kind of come up with a plan for how I can store things and get them out and put them away, because you can't have everything out on display. Even if there's room for it, I start getting kind of claustrophobic if I feel like things are too cluttered. I like having cool stuff out on display, but I don't think I could ever be one of those guys that just has like a whole room where like every shelf is just full of, you know, any one particular thing.
Spawn figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like A Drink with Crazy's background, but I have no desire to replicate it myself. It's so eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
It looks, to me, it looks very crowded. And
Yeah.
I mean, visually there's a lot to look at, which is good.
And
really.
it's fun.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's all fun stuff.
Okay, now we're missing another
Oh dear.
two of those. Oh wait, no. Yeah, there's one, so where's the other?
Oh, right here.
Ah, good.
Whew. I thought I screwed up.
You've done it again. Yeah, it would be fun. Part of me thinks, yeah, it'd be fun to have like you said, like a whole bookshelf full of like Spawn or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. More than a little bit of something starts, other than just like books or
Books look orderly.
yeah, books you can control a little bit better.
Yes, but I'm reliably informed by one of the great Twitter brains that you should not own physical books anymore.
Oh yeah.
That just has not been a status symbol in over 200 years. I screenshotted that. I'm just because I wanted to remember. I wanted to remember that this was something that was said. I just couldn't believe it. That was such.
It was like not just that you shouldn't own physical books, but that it hadn't been a status symbol. And then on top of that, you should give them away.
Yeah, like where
It
was
was
the
like-
logic in that, right? Because then you're just burdening someone else, right, with the physical books that shouldn't be owned.
Well, his point. So I think we can grant him a little slack on some of that stuff, because his point specifically, he said, saving books that you aren't going to reread.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was saying something like, in his ideal, you would sort of collect books, and then as you read them, if you read a book and you're like, I don't really see myself rereading this anytime soon, you would give it to somebody who hadn't read it. So books would be in the possession of people who hadn't read them yet. As they read them, they would give them away if they didn't feel like rereading them.
Yeah. Or reading them at all.
Yeah.
That but still.
I mean, a lot of what we're trying to do with our space is like make a collection of books for our kids. And this is something that happened to me, right? So my dad had a lot of books that he had bought that he maybe read a little bit of or never really read, but I read them. I read them as a kid. So, it doesn't have to be just for you. And I think some people
Is that right? Did you? Oh, okay.
I think some people
Never mind.
argued that with this guy, and he says something like, yeah, well, that's not what I'm talking about. Like he was talking about books that are basically not going to be reread. It's still a kind of a silly way of saying it, though.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that point that you're making, yeah, that's more reasonable. But yeah, I think what threw us all off was the whole it's not a status symbol.
Yeah.
As if because I think, probably that there are some people out there who would only ever own books or anything as a status symbol, but
Yeah, the way he said it made it sound like he was saying that books, like the only reason that you would collect books was
right, yeah.
was for status. And then to say that they weren't a status symbol Like
Yeah.
there was like multiple levels on which it was like it felt like it was wrong.
See, it's a good. I talk about these kind of tweets. It's a good tweet because it sort of implies a lot of things without saying them. So he's got deniability, plausible deniability, but I mean, it is exactly asserting all those things, right? By saying, oh, they're not a status symbol anymore. You're basically accusing everybody of who owns books without reading them of just owning them for a status symbol, which is ridiculous. but that's how those kind of tweets work is and then you read it and you look at it, you reread it, you're like, what is he thinking? It doesn't make any sense, and you keep thinking about it, right? That's how it works.
It's good for the algorithm because you sit there looking at his tweet.
Yeah.
And then you start replying and you sit there and then you delete and you sit there and you start writing it again and then you delete it.
Yeah.
And then you figure out what you're going to say and you say it in a comment and then you retweet and you say it in a different way.
That's how it's done. Twitter is an MMORPG, as we all know. That is how you win.
All right, so we've got a very developed waterfall area here. This little area got blocked off by this piece, so if it's going to be accessible at all, it'll be from the top. I bet it won't be.
Just
But
a space.
Yeah.
We should stick a skeleton in there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, that's where Elrond keeps unpleasant guests.
Nice little stairs. Lots of mushrooms we didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is really starting to look like something.
Yeah.
But I mean, that alone would almost be like, for like a smaller set, like that would be the landscape piece on its own, right?
Oh, for a big set, right? Like this is a chunk of something that you wouldn't find in a small set.
No, but I mean, yeah, but that in of it, this part here is just part of something greater, right? Because that's where you said the little gazebo is gonna go.
Yep.
Okay. And there's a bridge, isn't there, that goes over the waterfall?
There is a bridge, yes.
Yep, the bridge kind of goes over this part.
Yeah. So in front of the waterfall.
Okay.
Yep. Or here. One of
Somewhere.
the two.
We'll find out, I guess.
And then I believe that this area underneath here is where the forge is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Forge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yep.
Super cute.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they decorate up and obscure these parts, because these kind of look really plain right now as is.
What is this?
Oh, the Technic. There's a bunch of Technic stuff to get the circular shape of the gazebo.
Okay, the bridge goes right across this front part here. So it's like this in back and bridge in front.
What's in here?
Nothing. Just.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a little low.
So it'll just be some rock stuff, but just as spot that just is.
Mm-hmm.
That explains all the detail, because you'll actually be able to see it. It's really cool.
All right. I'm tired.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for inviting me on. It's my pleasure to be your guest.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for everybody who watched, and we'll be on again. This is a lot of fun, so we should continue on this.
Yeah. And
because otherwise we're never going to get it done. So we'll be on again sometime soon to keep going, and it was fun showing off the Bionicle stuff too, because that's something that I've been wanting to talk about at some point on stream, and it was a fun little detour. So
well, I feel chilled after being on the chill stream.
Good.
I hope everyone else does too.
We're about halfway through the second book here.
Nice.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming. See you later. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.